When people are buying cryptocurrencies, what are they actually buying?
It's also a very good question. The tangibility element is no greater than having digits in your bank account. Essentially, these are both faith-based systems. Neither have an intrinsic backing element behind it. So, for example, there will be certain crypto coins where you will have a certain amount of gold, for example, held in a vault. There's an example of someone having gold money where you buy credits, and for every credit you buy a certain amount of gold is put. That you can argue is a backed currency. But in the world currently, we have virtually no meaningful scale backed currencies. So that means they all fall under the category of fiat, which comes from Italian and stroke Latin, faith-based systems. In other words, it's your preparedness to accept a Bitcoin for a purchase that allows me to pay you in it. And as more and more people expand in that and have a greater level of acceptance and the means for doing so expands, we will see more of it. And because it's fresher and people are looking at the existing fiat as a guaranteed devaluation mechanism, they're more prepared to give fresh faith to a new idea. So backed, who knows? For example, the Nectar loyalty scheme, you could actually create a currency out of that if you wanted. So every time you're buying at a certain garage or a certain supermarket, those points are redeemable as a reduction in price. So it is a kind of money, but it's only in that loop. Now, if you continue to expand that loyalty scheme, you could actually have a Nectar currency. And if everyone starts to accept points as redeemable and everyone earns points by spending it, you could have Nectar. Facebook could create a coin based on its revenue of its advertising. So there's quite a lot of scope for it. And these are all quite new concepts that could be non-national as well. Every time you want to trade, if I go on holiday and if there's Bitcoin vendors prepared to receive Bitcoin in America and in Europe and in Australia, for example, I don't get all these costly currency conversions, transactions, these spreads that you pay, and commissions that need to be paid. So there's an attraction to that.
Is there then a case for a kind of utopian idea behind coins, or not?
Depends what you mean by utopia. I think anything that involves humans is always going to fall slightly short of utopia. There's going to be greed, there will be some scams, there will be get-rich-quick thinking, greed and fear. And I don't know if utopia exists where there's a human element of that nature, but the idea is that we have a denationalized payment system, that you could choose your brand and you could engage with that. So you could hold all your wealth in Ethereum, pay your bills in Ethereum, and when you go on holiday, as I've mentioned before, you don't have these currency conversion issues. And you also don't have the devaluation issues and the quantitative easing issues, which are clearly destructive policies for the benchmark. Why do we want to build wealth, work really hard, and then put it in something that's dissipating and being proliferated away? And this is potentially the attraction now. Are we getting an alternative that we could put much more of our wealth in and transact with? The important thing to remember with cryptos is not only is it a revolution, it's a payment system. So you get something that is now in the space of Master and Visa cards. It also will challenge PayPal and Western Union, which is a transfer system. And then it's also a medium of exchange and a store of value. So medium of exchange, I can give you some Bitcoin and, you can sell me an outfit. And at the same point, it's a store of value. You can leave things in Bitcoin and there has been appreciation. So we're getting a lot of the things that gold bugs like, although there are some real differences too. And people shouldn't make that mistake to think they're identical.